Hey guys, welcome to HS Running. I'm joined with Corie Smith. She's a senior from Buchanan High School. She's a cross country and distance track runner and one of the fastest runners in the nation. She has the third fastest 3 mile time in the nation with a time of 16:04, and her PR in the 3 miles is 15:58 as a sophomore. And also, she's also a 2017 CIF state champion as only a sophomore as well. Thank you so much for taking time for your interview. I really appreciate
No
it.
problem.
And recently, Corie just ran a time of 16:53.9 at Clovis and got first place and also set a course record for that. How did the race go overall for you, Corie?
The race went really well. Obviously, I ran a great time and winning's just the icing on the cake for it. But it was tough competition out there. There's a couple new girls, Harper and Alex, that this is their first year even running cross country, and it's great to see the younger faces of the sport really coming out and doing such a good job so early. I know Alex, that was only her third race, and running that fast is crazy. So it was just a great overall race, not only for me but a bunch of other young faces for the sport, and just to get out there and compete was just really exciting.
Nice. Were you surprised of like a sophomore and this is her first year cross country for Alex like
hmm
to keep up with you?
Um, I feel like every year someone surprises me. Like my freshman year, I feel like I surprised probably a lot of people too. I've been in that position before where, you're out there kind of your first year and you don't really expect too much. So for me, as I've gotten older and more experienced, you know that there's always going to be a couple sophomore freshmen that are bound to be either really close or just as good as you. So yeah, I was surprised just because I've never heard of her before, but I wasn't I wasn't so surprised to where it threw me off, or I wasn't expecting it, kind of a thing.
Okay. And how long was she with you? And did you start like making like a separation?
Basically the whole time. Like I said, it was her and Harper for most of it. I think Harper started to fall off just a little bit when we reached our halfway point near the Kissing Rock. So that's at a mile and a half back there, and the part where literally no one ever is. But Alex stayed with me for all of it. I barely pulled away from her. I only beat her by 4 seconds at like the very end. So she stayed strong throughout all of it. And it was just a really great race that came down to a finish like that. So it must have been really exciting to watch.
Nice. And how did you feel during the race? Was everything feeling like did you feel all good, your legs and everything like that?
I felt really good. We came by the first mile at 5:20 and the second mile at 11 minutes. So I knew my slow down was like kind of right where you want it to be, not too much. The second mile kind of is where a lot of people fall asleep out there. And if you just keep your momentum going, then you can really run a really fast time. But I definitely didn't feel like I was running that fast. I was kind of hoping for a low 17 O's kind of a thing. So to come by it, 16:53 was kind of a shock, but I really think my training's going really well right now. So that was a huge boost kind of for me.
Nice. And how was it like running the course? You know, it was your home course at Buchanan, and like, how was the course overall for you?
I really like that course. Yes, it's pretty hard. I think I forget that it's hard every single year just because I practice on it so much. But for me, being able to run on it so often and for so many years is just a huge help. I've always joked that I could probably run this course blindfolded and do just fine, but I definitely think that's kind of true. We practice out there at least once a week, and we're not always doing hard workouts. It's either a long run or some kind of, just we're out there all the time. So it's just a big help for us too. And even in middle school, we run part of that course for our middle school cross country meets.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've been running on this course since I was in seventh grade. So it's super comforting too that I get to stay at my house. A lot of teams travel up for it, and
Hmm.
not that hotels aren't like great or whatever, but it's always so much more preferred to, stay at home and,
Right.
just do your own schedule kind of on your own time. So that's always a huge plus too.
Nice. And let's see, what was like your goal going through this? Like, was it do you have like specific time and did you like have in mind of big breaking the course record?
I definitely didn't have in mind of breaking the course record. I wanted to PR, and my PR is 17:05 from sophomore year. So to me, it was all about just seeing as close as I could get to 17 minutes as I could. A big thing for me is, my sophomore year when I ran that time, I ran really well at Woodbridge and Clovis Invite, but at my state meet, I still won, but I didn't really run the time that I wanted to. So that for me was all about not like focusing so much on the time part because we still have 2 more months left of training. So for me it was mostly about PRing, and then kind of I'm super competitive, so I really wanted to win too, kind of a thing. So that like beating the course record and winning is just kind of like it goes hand in hand. It's equally as important to me.
And what was like something that you learned from your race?
Something that I learned from this race is definitely not to count anyone out. I feel like that's something everyone constantly like needs to learn just in the sport in general. It's just you can be on top for all 4 years and then have someone like Alex who's never ran before, or Harper, just a really good freshman that like can just come out and surprise you. And that's not necessarily makes you look bad. It just shows that there's always going to be new people to the sport, new people competing that are going to be good. And there's just really, nothing you can really do about it except focus on yourself and focus on what you're doing and how you're training and how you're practicing and racing. And just that's kind of a big thing is just, there's so many people and you get so many light shine on you when you've been good for a consistent amount of time. It's just when someone beats you, it's like a huge deal. But you just got to focus on like yourself and like how you're doing. And same to all the younger girls out there too. It's just like when they become good at a younger age, yeah, you're going to get a lot of pressure on you early on, but you just got to, take it all in stride and just be grateful for all the opportunities that you get from it.
Nice. And what's the biggest thing that you learned from like your past 3 years of running and that you're gonna apply to your last year in cross country as a senior?
My biggest thing is just having fun. I love going out there and competing, and that's always going to be a big deal for me. But I love this sport because I just love it. Like it's not that I love the winning. I love being good. It's I love my teammates. I love my coaches. I've met some of my best friends through this program and through this sport. So for me, it's all about going out there and having the same amount of fun I did even when I wasn't as good as I am now. That's always been a big thing for me is just, continually like bringing joy to the sport and just, having a great time with it, whether I win or lose, PR or not. It's just an overall, it's an amazing sport and you can learn so many things from this, just overall in life, and, having fun is just one of them.
For sure. And what is your biggest like goal for the rest of the season?
My biggest goal for the rest of the season is probably going to be to hopefully PR again on that home course. We race on it 3 more times, and the last one is our state meet, and I want to do really well there. I want to win. So that's another, it's a big thing. And I really, we have a lot of team goals too. We've been going back and forth with Great Oak for as long as I can remember, and I think this year we have a solid team. We're a younger team too this year, so I feel like if the freshmen and sophomore keep progressing like I think they are, we should be really good by the end of the season. So we're hoping to get that NXN bid to Oregon, hopefully, if everything comes together like we want it to.
For sure. And you guys have like a freshman that runs like super impressive times. How's it having someone so young as a freshman and being part of one of the fastest team in the nation for girls and being part of the varsity for Buchanan High School?
I see a lot of myself in her with just the way that she runs and pushes herself at practice. She's one of the sweetest people you will ever meet in your entire life, and she's definitely giving freshman me a run for my money. Like she's beating all my freshman times and just training super hard. And I keep telling her, I'm like, if you keep doing this, you're going to be as good as me probably by your senior year. Like if you keep progressing like this, I don't see why you wouldn't be, just because that's kind of how, I was. I think she ran the same time I did at Clovis Invite my freshman year. And
Oh, dang.
I'm like, yeah, like she's doing really, really well. And I think that if she keeps her head in, like, she keeps the right mindset. For being a freshman's hard. Being on such a good team, running such fast times is hard because you have to, make sure you're keeping to, like, not keeping to yourself, but, like, making sure you're not getting a big head and stuff like that. And she won't. She's just that type of person that just is so sweet and so grateful to be out there and just competing with everybody. And the way she competes is incredible and runs so fast. So I think for her and all the other freshmen on the team and the sophomore that we have on our team that are just being consistently pushed and getting better is just a huge, confidence boost for the rest of the team. And it's just amazing that we have such talented youth on our team right now.
That's great. And also for Mount Sac is such an iconic course and race and with so much competition. And you never ran Mount Sac before, so what is the kind of like the reason behind not running Mount Sac individually and also as a team, kind of?
For us, it's more of we try to do as many meets where everyone can run as we can. So basically, we choose to go to the meets where everyone can compete and everyone gets a good chance of competing. So for us, it's more just for the rest of the team. I think we haven't always had the individual talent that we have had in the past, kind of a thing. So we kind of get in the groove of what our schedule is and how it's always been, to where we just never really bothered changing it. I don't really have too many complaints about it. I think we compete at a high level every year, either like with or without it. So I think changing it now would kind of just be pointless because we never do it and we still run well and we still get a lot of competition at Woodbridge and Clovis Invite. And there's just kind of I would probably really like to go. It would be fun. It's just a different meet kind of from what we usually do, but I stand by our coach's decision to do it, and obviously it's worked out okay. So
And how's your training been lately these past couple of weeks and like the miles and just the progress that you that is happening?
um training's hard. Our coach never really likes to take it easy on us. I know, like, when we got back from Woodbridge, it was Sunday and we were all getting off the bus and he was like, no, like, don't think we're gonna, take it easy on you tomorrow just because you ran Woodbridge, the night before. And we came out there Monday and we had a hard workout and we all crushed it. So it was just for him, I think it's all about, not taking it easy for until November. Like, that's our big thing, is we pound it out until, it's time to take it easy. And we don't taper for Woodbridge. We don't taper for Clovis Invite. We
Oh,
train
okay.
through it. Yeah. So for us, it's all about, continuing the training regimen and schedule, even when we have big meets like that, just because we're training for state. We're not training for Clovis Invite, kind of a thing.
And individually, do you want to taper like for those big races?
Um, yes and no. It just depends, kind of. It really kind of just comes down to what workout we did that week. If we had a huge, like, volume day on Monday, I'm like, man, I really would like to, just because your legs are tired, but it just means you have to take the extra time after practice to roll out, stretch, ice, and just make sure you're doing everything to keep your legs relaxed and ready for the meet outside of practice. Obviously, we still had a hard workout Monday and I still ran okay yesterday. So it's not too big of a deal, but it's also just all about the mindset too. If you go into a hard workout the week before a big race like this and think, oh my God, this is going to kill me, then yeah, it's going to kill you. But if you go into it with a positive attitude and just know that it's going to make you better, then you're going to do just fine.
All right. And for training wise, do you also train with the boys or just mainly with the girls?
I train with the boys. So we have groups. So it goes by numbers. So our top two guys are group one, and then there's another group of three guys that are group two. And then group three is where I train, and I'm the only girl in that group. It's me and three other guys. So in the beginning, of course, I had Megan last year, so it was me and Megan in the same, group of guys, kind of a thing. But now I've been running with the same kind of group of guys for the past 2 years now, so we're all pretty close. Same with the whole varsity guys team, kind of. I'm close with all of them. I've known a couple of them since middle school. They've been running with me since middle school, and they're the same age as me, so it's basically like we're we're super close, and I like that I'm close with the girls and the guys team because it just helps bring everyone together. Because traditionally the girls and guys are like separate and just don't like talk to each other
Right.
too much. I think,
Yeah.
but I think like since I train with the guys, I obviously have to be good friends with them and
Hmm.
get along. So that's a huge help for me to like be able to bring the girls and guys team together.
And how is it running and training with the boys?
I love it. They're a lot different than the girls,
Mm.
but still like just as fun. They're not afraid to like ask me like questions, I guess, like about like, just running in
Mhm.
general and just like cause I feel like since we're on like the same training schedule, I help a lot with, they'll ask me like, oh, what do you do to get ready for races and stuff like that, and it's just really nice because they're like super unafraid to ask. Like they'll ask me anything, and I'm pretty open, so I'll answer anything they really have to ask. But they're super funny. I love them. They're great, and they know they know what they're doing too. I like that they know like what to do during workouts and stuff like that. So it's not like I'm babysitting them. It's actually like a team thing, and it's super fun.
Nice. And how often do you train with the boys? Like mainly workouts or normal ones you run with the girls?
No, I train with them all the time.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, so I do. I train with them 6 days a week most of the time. The girls and I, if we have a hard workout, I cool down, warm up with the girls. But for long runs and actual workout like parts, I run with the guys.
Oh, okay, got it. And what workout do you think helps you the most for XC season?
I'm a big fan of tempo runs. So for us, we have this little like triangle out not on the course, but where I train, where I live, there's a triangle that goes around this park and through this neighborhood. That's about 0.95 miles. So for us, like we'll do four tempo triangles nonstop, and it just depends. So we'll either do them all at slow Buchanan and a faster training pace, or slow tempo, fast tempo, stuff like that. But we'll do 4 or 5 of them, and we're trying to get up to doing 5 nonstop at slow tempo. For us, it's just a huge. I really like it. A lot of people aren't. The faster people like the speed. The people that are speed based, of course, hate them. But I'm a big like long distance
Mhm.
person, so tempo runs in general are my bread and butter for cross country season.
Yeah, I like tempo too. I think tempo because we do like in our team we do tempo as well. So I think tempo is like a great way to like prepare you for like the races for XC for sure.
Me too. I think it just is really great because it's still flat, but you're just going at a faster pace and
Hmm.
for a consistent amount of time. It's just, I agree. It's 100% a really great way to prepare for cross country season.
Sure. And also, what are you looking forward to the most this season?
Um, probably just, not like much. I feel like because it's my last year, I don't want it to be over. I've had such a great, amazing 4 years here, and just, realizing yesterday's my last Clovis invite, and I only get to race on this course 3 more times, and then, I'm done. I'm just kind of looking forward to, um, just going out with a bang kind of a thing. Like, I just really want everything to end well. Of course, you can't really know how it's going to go until you get there, but I'm just really looking forward to all of it. It's bittersweet, I don't want it to be over. I love my team, so graduating is going to be really hard for me this year, but um I know that it was just a great ride like while it went on, so
All right. And what are some of your like? How's the college process been for you? Like,
hard. You don't think that having a lot of options is a bad thing until you realize you have a lot of options.
mm,
It's just really all about deciding what fits best for you. You're going to be there for 4 years, and not only are you going to run, but you're going to, go to school there, and you're going to meet people there. And it's all about, team chemistry and how you fit with the coach. And if you really see yourself going to that school, and that's a huge deal because you're going to look back on it, and not only are you going to remember the running, but you're going to remember the college experience too. And that's a huge deal. But like I said, it's hard. I am taking all my visits in January, which is also hard too because everyone's committing right now. You
Right.
see where everyone's going, and you're just like, wow, like I really want to, decide, get that locked in because it's stressful, like, and you just don't really know how it's going to go. And, you hate to like think that you're going to go on a visit and like you love it, but you love another school just as much. Like the decision part's really hard, but overall it's super fun, getting to know the schools and kind of just um, having the options is great, but it's super stressful at times.
What made you want to take like some of your visits later, like next year in January?
Um, I'm a big team person, and for me, all of my visits are pretty far from where I live, so it's not like I would be missing I wouldn't just be missing Saturday, Sunday kind of a thing. It's like I'd be missing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe even Monday,
Oh,
to
okay.
where it was just like it was probably just going to be too much traveling wise, so I decided to take them all during like a down like month for me. Like I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of I'm still going to be training, but it's not going to be a whole lot during January, so I thought that was going to be the best option for me and my team. I would hate to make it to where they're constantly doing stuff without me, running without me, even though like I don't necessarily train with the girls all the time. I want to be there no matter what kind of meet it is, and practices are huge. And, it just felt better for me to take them in January.
Okay. And do you have it like have you like took some visits already, or just a little bit?
Uh, yeah, I have all 5 of mine planned. Yes.
Okay. And have you narrowed it down like to like the top colleges that you're interested in?
Yeah. So the 5 visits that I'm taking are Penn State, Arkansas, Wisconsin, University of Florida, and Missouri.
Okay. Nice. And do you know what you want to major in yet?
I want to major in either English or history because after I'm done running for college, I really want to go to law school. That's always been a big thing for me.
Okay.
I've been told that I can argue and talk really, really well. So that's always been a big plus for me. Plus, I'm just super interested in law in general. I've always been, big into crime shows and movies like that. So that's always a huge plus. So like for me, it's just all about, taking advantage of, probably not having to worry too much about college loans and stuff like that. So that's a big thing for me too.
So do you want to like get into law and be a lawyer instead of running for like rest of your life?
Um, I've never really thought about that option too much. Like, of course, when I was kind of deciding what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, it was probably when I was like a freshman, and I never freshman, early sophomore. So it was never like I saw myself, being not necessarily good enough, but ever like seeing myself doing that for the rest of my life. It all just kind of depends on how college goes for me. Of course, if I'm running really fast times and, winning a lot and just doing really, really well, and the option presents itself, that's just going to be something that we have to talk about when we get there, kind of a thing.
Okay, got it. And what are your reflections and thoughts on like how successful you're running this season and the improvement that you're making a lot and running a lot of fast times?
Um, it's always shocking. Like I remember I texted Megan this morning and I was just talking to her about, when she was gonna come home for Thanksgiving and stuff like that. And I was just like, tell me yesterday like actually happened. Like it just feels like it didn't. You always think you like the day after you're just like, oh, was I like dreaming kind of a thing? And she was like, no, like that you seriously like did that. Like you actually ran that time. And it's just crazy because it just feels like it doesn't feel like not important, but like the day afterwards, you're just like, wow, like I actually, did that. Like all my training just paid off and it just shows like it's just a super proud moment, like not only for me, but just for all the people that have been, like my family and just rooting for me, like my whole high school career. So it's just a huge, like, it's a big milestone for me. And I feel like for all the people that have been like watching me compete for so long.
For sure. And what is the biggest thing that you want to take away from your last experience in high school for cross country?
Um, oh, my biggest thing would just be, work hard. That work, that effort, the kind of drive that you have now is just keep it for as long as you can, kind of a thing, because it's gotten me so far, not only in running, but just in life. So I feel like for me, if I can just continue, to, keep your head down, work hard, do it with a smile on your face kind of a thing, is just a huge deal kind of. So it's just running itself just brings you so many life lessons and helps you so much, with the rest of your life. And I think that just realizing that is gonna, push me forward.
And how did you get into running? You mentioned that you started running in middle school.
Um, the first sport that you can do in elementary school for my elementary school and school district is cross country. So I was in fourth grade, and my parents signed me up, like made me do it, kind of a thing. My parents have always been like, you have to like do something. Like you can't be that kid that just comes home every day after school and just doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So you have to. They didn't care what I did. I played like every sport in
Okay.
elementary school. I played soccer, I swam, I even rode horses, I did tennis, volleyball, like anything
Oh
that
wow.
I could do, I would do. So cross country was just another thing for me to do, kind of. So I started running in fourth grade, and then I just kind of kept doing it just because I had fun. I liked the girls on the team because they were my friends in elementary school, and Mia Hodege, one of the girls on our team now, I have been friends with since elementary school. I've been running with her since fourth grade. So it's just great. Like I said, the people that were on the team just made me feel like so welcomed, and it was just a great atmosphere. And then I just kind of kept up with it just because I started getting good, and um, I loved all the people on my team up until in middle school, and my coach in middle school was great and really set me up for the high school experience, and I have almost everything to thank to him just because he got me started and everything like this.
And what do you think your role is in the team?
Um I'm not going to say I'm necessarily bossy, but I am kind of the leader of definitely the girls team. I am big into, making sure we're doing everything correctly and to the best of our ability kind of a thing. I kind of am the person that everyone goes to for questions too. I feel like like I said, I've been doing this for such a long time that to like the freshmen and the younger girls are like, okay, like, do we do this kind of stuff? And I'm just there as a resource, I feel like, for everybody. Yeah, I'm kind of in charge kind of, but like for me it's more about like I answer everybody's questions and I try to be as helpful as I can to all the girls on the team, and just with the seniors I'm trying, like, we try to be as open with all the other girls as we can and really just help everybody. So it's not just me that's kind of the leader, but like me and the seniors do a really good job of just helping everyone out and making sure everyone feels appreciated and important, and like they matter, because everyone does on the team. Like my sister's on the team and she's a year younger than me, and so that's just a huge plus for me too. But like I said, it's just all about helping everyone out and get comfortable as best they can.
Nice. And how's it being a leader in the team?
um Hard sometimes. I feel like I've kind of had this role since I was a sophomore, junior, just because when you're so good, you're kind of the undisputed leader of the team, even when you aren't a senior. But for me, it's always been about not using that to my advantage. I never want to throw that around, being like, well, I'm better than you, so therefore like we have to do what I say. That's never been me, kind of a thing. So I'm all about taking everyone's opinion into account. But yeah, it's stressful sometimes when everyone's like, Corie, what do we do? And I don't know. But like you learn a lot just from that. You come up with a lot of stuff on the spot, and it's super fun. But I really like it, kind of a thing.
And what's the biggest thing that you learned from being a leader in the team?
Um, just that you need to make sure you're taking everyone's opinion to heart, kind of a thing. Like it's important that you're listening to everybody and really doing what the majority of the team wants to do. Of course, not everyone's going to agree 100%, but as long as you're trying to get everyone's opinion and really listening to it, then you're doing just fine.
And what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind as a high school runner?
Oh, that's a good question. Just I guess that you always want people to look back and be like, oh, she was so good. But, I don't want like just that. I want everyone to, remember the, good parts, not just the running parts, just like the person, I guess. But for me, it's, you don't really get the legacy unless you're running the fast times and stuff like that. So for me, is I want to be one of the best people that's ever done it before.
All right. And how about what do you want your legacy to be in life?
Ooh, I guess that oh my god, that's a really hard question.
Yeah, pretty deep
That
question as well.
I guess that I was just super hardworking, and I never said no to a challenge, and stuff like that. Just that being a good person is always great. Everyone wants to remember you if you're really good at something, or you're just overall super nice and stuff like that. So I guess all of that just combined together into what my legacy would want to be in life.
Nice. And what are your goals in life and things that you want to accomplish and achieve?
Well, obviously, graduate high school,
Mhm.
graduate college, stuff like that. Running wise, for me, is just doing well in college. It's hit or miss a lot with some high school athletes transitioning into college on whether they're really good or they never really live up to that, potential that they had in high school. But for
Right.
me, it's all about, I still want to be good. Like I want to go out there and I really want to compete, and I want to be able to, have, be all American a couple times. I want my team to be successful. That's always been a big thing for me, is I don't like necessarily want to go somewhere and be number one right away. It's like, I want to be on a good team. I want to be on a team that, can compete and stuff like that. So, running wise, I guess, like I said, around there, and just like in life, graduate college, graduate law school, stuff like that, like the normal people stuff. I don't think any of mine are like too much out of the ordinary, but yeah.
Got it. And have you faced any adversity in life or like a big low point in your point in life in running? And if so, like what did you do to overcome that and what did you learn during that process and time?
Um, I think for me, a big low point, just running wise, was last track season. I started off kind of not where I wanted to be. My training was still really good, but I just wasn't competing at the level that I knew I could compete at, and I just couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. And I went to my coaches about it, and they were like, "Oh, maybe you have low iron." That's a big thing for a lot of girls, just running wise, is that you got to check it, kind of a thing. So I
Right.
went and got it checked, and it was super low. So I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense. So it was just like, for me, the point of like where I didn't know what was wrong, and I was still training, but I just wasn't racing at where I knew I should be racing, was really hard on just your mindset, because you're doing everything right, but it's just the performance wasn't there. And it's just, you have to make sure that you're not beating yourself up too much. Like, that you're doing, that it has to be something else, that you're training right, you're eating right, you're doing the stuff after practice, like the stuff in the weight room, and working out, and just like icing and rolling out, and you're doing everything that you could possibly be doing correctly, but like still performing not well. It's just
Right.
really hard on your mindset like that. So that's a big thing, is just, I definitely got a lot more mentally tough from that experience. And obviously it worked out well at the end of the season. Getting second at state at track was the confidence boost I needed to come into this cross country season and do what I've been able to do.
And how was that transition of finding that you have low iron and then taking iron and getting better and being a runner up at state?
Um, it was super helpful. Like, you could totally tell the difference after I started, actively putting that into my diet, kind of a thing, and taking supplements for it. You could just tell the difference. Like, I could noticeably feel a difference in how I was running and how I was training and racing. So for me, it was just getting more and more confident in my abilities to help me lead up to that performance at state.
And I also have low iron as well. I've been taking iron pills. Like I'm so tired if I don't take iron. Like is that for you too? Are
Exactly.
you so tired?
For me, it's the fatigue thing. I feel it a lot more in my, I guess, like legs. So a lot of
Okay.
for track especially, you do faster workouts. A lot more of it's on the track and it's speed based. I just couldn't, do it. Like my legs just couldn't handle the speed workouts and then recover from it in time in order to race. So the recovery time was super hard. I needed to just change my workouts too while I was getting used to it, to where I would switch back to doing tempo runs, but during track season, because they weren't as hard on my body as the speed workouts were. So for me, it was just all about, changing how I trained in order to still like have the performance that I needed to.
Got it. And what are your some of the thoughts about like strength training and like lifting weights? Because like some distance runners don't do it because like they don't want to gain weight and muscle to be light
Mhm.
as possible, but lot do it as well.
Um, I do it. So for me, it's our PE period. So for us, we do block schedules. So
Oh,
there's
okay.
2 days a week where we have 2 hours in PE. So that's um all weight training. Not all of it, of course, is, weight. We do a lot of core, but we bench, we squat, we clean and stuff. Like our weight, it obviously is not the same as a sprinter would be.
Right.
My coach knows, not we can't bulk up kind of a thing, but upper body strength and core strength is a huge deal, like for running just in general. So for me, this year, my coach has been talking to me about how I need to start doing more pull-ups. I can do like one, I think. So he's like, we want to get you up to like 10. So for me, it's all about, you got to balance it out. You can have super strong legs, but if your upper body and core just is flailing around everywhere, that's obviously taking up so much of your energy while you're running and racing. So as long as you're, keeping a tight core and keeping it lean but muscular up on your upper body, then you're not gaining enough weight to where it's really compromising anything, and you're, getting stronger just in general to be able to run faster.
Right. So for cross country, it's not part of a class at Buchanan, or
Um, well, for us, we do sports based PE. So every sport at Buchanan gets their own PE period. So for
oh,
us,
okay.
it's six periods. So that's Wednesday, Friday, and so our coach is a PE coach. So he gets six period and seventh period just for cross country runners, and then seventh period is just for track and field. But that's like sprinters and throwers and jumpers and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
And how many miles do you do normally for a cool down?
For a cool down, we go off of time. So for us, it's
Okay.
anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, but you can do a lot or a little in
Right.
that time. It just depends on, how fast you're going, how everyone feels. So for the most part, I'd probably say at least three, but, it could be more, could be less. But after workouts and stuff, it's normally like if we do a track workout, it's like 2 laps around the track, just super slow. But if we do like um a workout like off the track on the trail or at a park or at Woodward Park, it's usually 20 minutes around, so probably at least 2 miles.
Got it. And how about a day before a race?
Um we so for me, I run 6 miles. We usually take two off, so I run 8 miles normally for long run days. So we take 2 miles off, so I'll run six, and it's just easy, training pace. So anywhere from 6:40 to 7 minutes. It might start out a little bit slower. I might run 7:15 for the first 2 miles and slowly like bring it down. And then for us, we do an so for our, on the trail, there's an 800 right before we come into the stadium. It's just on the sidewalk, but for us, it's we use that as like a shakeout kind of a thing, just to get our legs ready and refreshed and stuff like that. So we'll run that at mile pace. So I'll usually run that around anywhere from 225 to 230, just depends on how I'm feeling. Um, but that's usually it, and then I'll take an ice bath and roll out and make sure nothing's bothering me before the race and stuff like that. So then I just come home, eat what I always eat, which is pasta, and usually just sit down and either do homework or watch a movie. It just kind of depends on what kind of race it is and how much of the weekend it's taking up. So if it takes up a lot of my weekend, then I'm doing homework. But if it's an early Saturday race or a Friday afternoon race, then I'm just probably gonna watch TV.
And so you don't take any easy day off, or like easy run. I mean, before a race.
Um, Well, I would say 6 miles is easy, but for
Okay.
us, once we get into postseason, it's more like go out and run 4 miles, 3 miles, stuff like that, and just come back and do some strides. So for state, like we have our Thanksgiving break, obviously that week. So that whole week, I probably don't run more than 6 miles a day. Like it's just a super like fine tuning week, but for races like Woodbridge and Clovis Invite, we don't really cut back too much.
Got it. And how many miles do you guys roughly run per week?
I would say anywhere from 50 to 60. Just kind of depends on what we're doing that week and if we have um, a race. So for us, like this week, our race is on Saturday. So we leave Friday and it's Saturday morning, and then we come back that night. So obviously, we're not going to run Friday. So that takes off about like anywhere from 6 to 8 miles that week. So anywhere from 50 to 60.
All right. And what's your normally average pace for like normal runs and also like for hard and long runs?
Um, if I'm going out and doing more than 8, so let's say I'm doing a long run that's like above 10 miles, then my pace will probably be anywhere from 7 to 7:30. I really don't go below it too much because those runs are just about getting the miles kind of in. But if they're long run days like after school, they're probably around 6:45, and then for if we're doing anything faster, that ranges from I want to say like 6:20 to 5:20. It just kind of depends on what we're doing for our workout kind of a thing. So anywhere from there.
Got it. And also, like, what do you like to do? Like, what were some like? How do you like to spend good quality time with your family?
Um we're a big sports family. So like today there's obviously football on all day. So we're either, watching baseball cuz it's October, so the World Series is obviously on. My grandma's a big Dodgers fan, so she was pretty upset
That
when they
sucks.
lost the other day. But so for us it's like sports. That's a huge way that we like bond, and me and my dad really like to cook, so
Oh,
we'll cook
nice.
together a lot. And my mom and my sister obviously are close just because we're girls. So we'll
Mhm.
just talk about, clothes and stuff like that. That's also a big thing. Like I like shopping a lot too. So does my sister and my mom. So we'll do that often. But like I said, it's just like normal family things, just like I said, I cook with my dad and I have a dog too. So like she's basically my child and I love her to death. So like it's great. Like I have a really great like home life. I love my family like a lot.
That's great. And what kind of dog do you have?
Chocolate lab.
Nice. And just one, right?
Yeah, just one.
And what do you like? What do you like to cook? What are some of your favorite food to cook?
My dad says this, I don't know if he's correct, but I make really good chicken enchiladas. Apparently, he said they're the best he's ever had. I know he's lying to me, but I would like to think that they are. I bake too, so I
Oh,
can
nice.
do homemade brownies, homemade cookies, and stuff like that. And I love pasta. It's super easy, but I can
Right.
do a bunch of different like pasta stuff, and I can do I've done salmon before, and I barbecued a little bit. So, I think I like eating too. I really like food.
Me
So,
too.
like, just learning how to make it is super fun.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of runners are like really into cooking and like doing like baking as well,
Yeah.
like Nico Young and like Evan Holland. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Nico Young's food looks really good. If he
Oh yeah,
could
for
make me one
sure.
of those pizzas that he does, like, makes in his little, like, brick oven
Oh yeah,
outside, I would probably cry because they look so good. Like, I want him to cook for me a little bit.
for sure. And he also won like some kind of like award for like best pizza.
Yeah,
So
I saw that. I was like, he can do it all.
right, and it's crazy how like their family's so into cooking. They have their own like oven in the backyard. So yeah, pizza oven
Yeah, our
specifically.
next door neighbor has a pizza oven outside, and I've been
Oh
like
nice.
dying to try it, but maybe one day.
Nice. And you mentioned that you love shopping. What are some of your favorite places to shop?
Um, kind of not basic places, but I love American Eagle. I go there all the time because I feel like they have the best stuff. Our dress code's kind of strict, not necessarily, but obviously, like no tank tops, no ripped jeans, stuff like that. So I think they have the best place to go if I want to get something, that I can actually wear to school. So I really like American Eagle, Tilly's. Target actually has some good like basic stuff too. Like if you just like want to go and get like a nice t-shirt or tank top and stuff like that. I really like Target. Plus I live really close to Target, so that's another easy stop for me. But like, just normal. I think my style's just mostly like comfortable half the time. So it's all about, places that I can buy clothes that are just super comfortable.
Nice. And is your sister your only sibling?
Yeah, my
Just
sister's my
sister.
only sibling.
Oh, okay, nice. And what are some of your hobbies and things you like to do in your free time besides running?
Um, I actually, oh, that's a good question. I'm a big movie person, so
Nice.
I'm constantly either watching a movie or just like watching TV in
Me too.
just general. I'm a big reader too, which is kind of weird because mostly people who are really into TV either just don't like to read, and people that read don't watch TV that
Right.
much. But I like both. I guess like I said, I like to cook, so that's another thing. Hanging out with my friends, obviously. I have a great group of friends. I love them to death, so that's super fun. Um, I guess that's like it. I'm not like I don't want to think that I'm boring, but that's like all I can think
No, that's
of.
a lot. Yeah. Yeah, I love movie as well. What's your favorite movie right now, or
My
what's your
favorite
current
movie.
one, and like what's your favorite movie in general?
My favorite movie in general would have to be Good Will Hunting, but
Oh, okay.
right now, I just recently watched Dodgeball again. I've seen it a bunch, but like I haven't watched it in a long time, so I just watched that again. And right now, it's probably one of my favorites, just because it's super funny. And I guess that's actually a tie with I just watched Nacho Libre for the first time. My friend like made me sit down and watch it because I had never seen it before. Hilarious, great movie, 10 out of 10. Would recommend to anybody.
How about your favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? Have you seen the Netflix show Big Mouth?
No, I haven't.
Oh, that's funny. It's inappropriate, but it's really funny. So that one right now is probably my favorite, but like if I had to, pick like a classic, it'd probably be Friends or The Office, one that you
Right.
can just put on and just watch.
Yeah, I'll give it I'll check it out.
Okay.
How about like are you in any clubs at school right now?
Um, no, I'm not. I've never been in any just because I've never really had the time. I feel like a lot of clubs are like um not time consuming, but I have a lot of other stuff to do too. So I've never really been in any, and there's never been really any that like, not that I'm not interested in, but ones that I like felt the need to be a part of kind of a thing. So no, I'm not.
All right. And what's your favorite book?
My favorite book? Ooh. I actually really liked the Hunger Games when it like first came out. I'm a like I said, I read the books before the movies were out. So for me, I just really liked that whole series in general. I'm a big Harry Potter fan. Those books were great. So I liked that and probably a couple I liked The Help. That's a movie too, but I read that before it was a movie. Of course I did. But I'm a big fan of if there's a movie that was based off a book, I've probably read the book and actually really liked it. So probably one of those three.
Got it. And did you like Hunger Games?
The movie, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Jennifer Lawrence. Like I think she's a really good actress just in general, and plus Liam Hemsworth is pretty cute, so it wasn't that hard for me to watch it.
Got it. And did you like the book better or the movie?
Book 100%. The books are always so much better than the movies. I still love the movies. It's kind of like with Harry Potter too. Great movies. I love all of them, but the books are obviously always going to be better.
Got it. And what are some of your favorite artists and songs that you like to listen to?
Um I'm a big I guess you could say I kind of have a wide range of music in general. So I really like 80s music. Like if I like am just doing something like not to pump me up, but like just to listen to music. I'm a big fan of Journey. I like a lot of Journey songs. But like current and present artists, I like oh, that's hard. I really like I guess you could say Khalid. I saw him in concert last year.
Nice.
I want to say big fan. Tyler the Creator, Post Malone. He was here in Fresno. Of course, the weekend of Woodbridge. He was there that Saturday night, so I didn't get to go. I would have
Oh.
loved to have gone, but Tyler the Creator was also here last night, so I was exhausted and didn't end up going. But just kind of music like that, like a little bit like slower hip hop, kind of more R&B kind of
Got
a
it.
thing.
And did you listen to Post Malone's new album?
Yeah, I really like that album. I think his I've liked everything that I think he's ever done. Like I'm a big fan of just him in general. So
Nice. And what's your favorite song from his new album?
probably Circles or oh my god, Take What You Want with Ozzy Osbourne. That was I liked that because it was a good mix of like hip hop and rock, which was super cool.
Okay. My favorite is Hollywood Bleeding. Have you heard that?
I like that one too. I think almost all of his songs on this new album are really good, so it was kind of hard for me to pick a favorite. But Circles was not the first one. I like Goodbyes with Young Thug too. That was pretty good too.
Got it. And how about from Khalid?
Um, I really like his new album too, which is super different than his first album. But so off of his new album, I'm a big fan of obviously, Better. And then off of his old album, I'm a big fan of either Coaster or oh my god, what is it called? Coaster or oh my god, I can't think of it right now. But his first album is really, really good, and the second album is, different but just as good.
Nice. Did you like Lovely by Billie Eilish?
Yeah, I'm a big Billie Eilish fan too. Her stuff is kind of not hit or miss with me, but it just kind of depends because it's either slower or really kind of fast paced. So it just like depends on what I want to listen to. But yeah, I did like that song.
Nice. And how about what's your favorite song from Journey?
Journey. Oh, I'm a big Faithfully one. I love that song. That's of course Don't Stop Believin' is a classic, but Faithfully is probably my favorite Journey song.
Nice. And going back to like movies, do you have like a favorite like actor?
Actor. I guess I would have to say Matt Damon. I really like him. I'm a big I like Ben Affleck too. Trying to think of other people. I'm actually a really big fan of Harrison Ford. I like almost all of his movies, so I would actually have to say Harrison Ford. There's not one Harrison Ford movie that I've seen that I don't like, I think.
Okay. And did you see the original for Blade Runner?
Yeah, I did. I like that one. And plus I like Ryan Gosling too, so the new one like I know a lot of people don't like it compared to the old one, but I still liked it just cuz.
Nice. And have you seen Argo, by the way, with Ben Affleck?
Argo?
Yeah.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it, no.
Got it. And how about The Martian? Do you like that space movie?
I do like that one. Space movies are also kind of, hit or miss. They're either really good or really bad. So I really like The Martian and the one with Matthew McConaughey.
Interstellar.
Yes, I like that one too. Those ones are good.
Nice. And have you seen the new space movie with Brad Pitt with Ad Astra?
No, I've been meaning to watch that, but I just got busy and I just never sat down and had the time to watch it.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's like one of my favorite films of the year. It's so good.
Okay, I'll definitely watch it then. Because I like Brad Pitt too, so that's a whole other thing that I could probably watch and like.
Yeah, and also it's like super beautiful, like the cinematography and like especially like the special effects for sure.
Okay, cool. I'll definitely watch it.
And it's also pretty emotional as well, like towards the end of the film. Like I won't lie, I kind of cheered up at the end because it's a film about. It's a film about a father and son relationship. So yeah, towards the end, like with no spoiler, it just got pretty emotional.
Okay. I'm a big fan of movies that like kind of I love like funny movies, like I said, like Dodgeball, Super Bad, Talladega Nights. Those are great, but I think movies that can like make you emotional are top tier. Like that's when you know they're good, kind of. If you can like cry with it, then it's usually really good.
Sure. And are you in any like you like cooking? And also, are you in like any diet for like XC season?
No, not really. I have a huge sweet tooth, so once we get to November, I'll like stop eating dessert until, after my season's done. But I think I just naturally eat really healthy just in general. Of course, like yesterday, me and my team went to freaking Habit across the street from Woodward Park and ate burgers and fries, and unfortunately their ice cream machine was out, so we didn't have
Oh, dang.
milkshakes, but like I'm still gonna splurge on stuff like that every once in a while. Of course, that's not an every night thing, but I think like having that like once every 2 weeks and like maybe eating dessert like once a week is not a big deal. Like it's not gonna kill me, kind of a thing. I'm exercising so much to where it like just goes in and out, so it's
Right.
never like a huge deal for me. But like I said, once we get to the end of the season, I start checking it more and more.
Nice. And what do you like better, Habit or In and Out?
Oh, I like Habit more. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that probably, but I'm a big fan of it just because I think their burgers are bigger. I feel like In-N-Out's
Mm,
burgers are tiny.
right.
So for me, I can eat a lot of food. So I like going to Habit because they give me more food, kind of a thing.
Got it. Yeah, I liked Habit for a while because I like the seasoning on their meat or the type of
I
like
do too.
yeah. So, but later on, like I went back to In and Out. Like In and Out's really
Of
good if you
course.
haven't like eaten it in a while. So
Yeah.
yeah, but Habit's great, and the
I feel
milkshake is
like
great too.
when I leave for college, I'm probably gonna be like, oh my god, I miss In and Out so
Mhm.
much just because like I'll be far away. But like right now, if I had the choice, 100% going to have it, no problem.
Nice. And have you tried Shake Shack?
No, we don't have one close to us, so
Oh,
I've
okay.
never been able to try it. But I really wanted to because people compare it a lot to In and Out, so
Right.
I've been interested to try it.
Yeah, it's really good. I actually like Shake Shack better than In and Out. Like what like
Really?
well taste wise, because like the quality of the meat is like it tastes a lot better, but the downside is
Okay.
like it's super small. Like it's like I normally eat
Oh.
two. Like the same feeling of eating one In and Out. It's like two like kind of like Shake Shacks for me. And it's
Oh,
also
okay.
pretty expensive too. It's like I don't know, like
Yeah.
yeah, it's for like a small burger.
That's what I like about In and Out though, is it's super cheap. So like
Right.
if you want like you could just order a lot of food, but like I think I go there with like $10 and like that's all I need basically for
Mm,
my food.
right. And what's your favorite food in general?
Um does ice cream count? Because
Sure.
probably ice cream. I That's kind of always been a big thing for our family too. Is just like instead of like doing like cake for birthdays, we'll just go out to like Cold Stone or Baskin Robbins and just
Oh,
get
okay.
ice cream. So
Nice.
I really like just ice cream. But like food, I guess I would have to say probably anything like Italian. I'm a big pasta person, so like really anything related to pasta, I will eat no problem. That going with that, I'm a big fan of pho actually.
Oh,
So
nice.
I like anything like noodles basically.
Okay, nice. And what's your favorite place to go get ice cream, and what's your favorite flavor?
Um that's hard because Cold Stone and Baskin Robbins are equally tied. So if I went to Cold Stone, I would get the Mud Pie Mojo. I like coffee, so like coffee
Mhm.
flavored ice cream is a big, A plus for me. I plus their serving sizes are huge, so
Okay,
I love going there because you get a lot. But Baskin Robbins, my favorite would have to be, chocolate and peanut butter. You really can't go wrong with that kind of combination. So just depends on what I'm feeling, that day.
nice. And when you come down for Torrance for like Mount Sac relays, I highly recommend an Italian restaurant called Italian. It's in Gardena. It's next to
Okay.
El Camino College. It's like
Okay.
super good, and it's like
Is
really
it?
good
Okay,
ratings.
I'll definitely try it.
Yeah, you should go check it out.
Okay.
And also, what's your favorite thing to bake? And like, what's your favorite like pastry?
Oh, I would say brownies just because the batter's really good too, so I can eat that. But I'm a big, warm like pastry kind of person. So like for me, a good croissant, is always good. So if I go like we have like a bakery here in town that's in Old Town Clovis. They have the best like almond butter like croissant that I've like ever had. They're so good. But for me, baking wise, brownies. Like if I don't know what to bake, I'll just bake a sheet, and everyone loves them. So it's super fun.
Nice. And what's your favorite restaurant?
Ooh, probably. We have. Oh my God, that's hard. I really like. There's. Oh, that's really hard. I like everything. Um, well, for me, it's like a birthday tradition for our family to go to this one restaurant called Yosemite Ranch. So it's just kind of like a steakhouse, but um it's super nice. Not like super nice, but it's nice. So we go there for birthdays, and they have,
Mm,
great everything. You can basically get whatever you want there. And it tastes great. Like I always go there, and I never like leave like disappointed, kind of a thing. So and plus we get to go there every year for our birthday. So my dad's birthday was October 2nd. So we just went last weekend for his birthday, and it was great. Like I love going there. I've been going there for so long. It's just, out of habit, but it's great. I love that place.
nice. And last question, like, is there any runner that you look up to, like either in college or professional?
Um no, I guess not really. I of course I follow all of them. Like if they do some like just in general, like of course like when Danny Smith was like, oh my God, Danny Jones was just like killing it all last year. Of course I like was looking into it and was just like, wow, that's amazing. But like in general, no, not really. Um no, I really don't. I think a lot of people do, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just never been like a thing for me kind of to do.
Okay, got it. Well, thank you so much for taking time for the
Oh
interview.
yeah, no
It was
problem.
great talking to you and having you on. And like for those who wants to follow you, where can like people follow you on social media?
Well, I have an Instagram, which is underscore Corie, Corie underscore Smith. And then my Twitter is, I think, Corie Smith, but with like three H's at the end. So either one. Instagram's probably better for running, but Twitter is more of like kind of just like funny. I don't really post that much about running on there. So it just depends on what you want to follow me on. Yeah.
Got it. Well, thank you so much for your time again, and I
Yeah,
hope
no
you have a great
problem.
day.
Thanks, you too.
All right, bye.
Bye.